Hello, welcome to APS to Azure Synapse Migration Module 3 video. This module is to create scripts for exporting data from APS and importing data to Azure Synapse. Let's look at online data migration process overview. It is called online because all data is moved to the cloud over network connection. No offline storage is required. Here, the most efficient way to export and import data is Polybase, which uses a concept of external tables, which use data in Azure Blob Storage. To make this approach work, we need to generate create external tables scripts for each table in APS, so we can use these scripts to export data from APS. And also we need to generate insert into or copy into scripts to import data into Azure Synapse for every table. Note that generating a create external table scripts for Azure Synapse is covered in the next module. This module is implemented as PowerShell script, which uses CSV configuration file. Each line in the configuration file defines how to generate export and import scripts. Detailed description of the file structure is provided in GitHub repository. It looks quite complex, especially if you have hundreds or even thousands tables to be migrated. But the good news is that you don't need to create it from scratch. There is another PowerShell script called generate step 3 config files, which will help us to generate main configuration file. This helper PowerShell script uses its own configuration file, which is also CSV. And here we specify some general information, like what is the input folder, so basically where our converted DDL scripts are stored, the path to schema mapping file, which is schema mapping file from the previous module, and the paths to output folders, so where create external table scripts for APS will be created, insert into commands for Azure Synapse scripts will be created, and copy into scripts for Azure Synapse will be created. Detailed description for this configuration file is provided at GitHub repository. So everything in my environment is ready and configured for AdventureWorks DW and Contoso DW databases. Let me first delete already available configuration file, main configuration file, and we will regenerate this configuration file using helper script. So I switch to Windows PowerShell and execute generate step 3 config files script. It prompts for some input. I will keep default values as is, and that's it. My main configuration file is regenerated. Let's quickly take a look at it. And we can see records for all AdventureWorks DW tables and all Contoso DW tables. We are ready to generate export and import scripts for our AdventureWorks DW and Contoso DW databases. I switch to Windows PowerShell and execute main PowerShell script. It prompts for configuration information. I keep default values, and it's completed. Now let's look at the output folder. I switch to Windows Explorer, Migration APS, and Output folder. Now we have the output for Module 3, and we have 3 sets of scripts. One is to create external tables and export data from APS. Let's quickly take a look at AdventureWorks DW and DBO dim account table. So this script creates external table for dbo.dim account table. But note that it uses separate schema ext_aw. We also have copy command scripts for Azure Synapse. Again, let's take a look at dbo.dimaccount script, and we can see here copy into. This is destination table in Azure Synapse, and this is copy into command syntaxes. And similarly, we have insert into commands for Azure Synapse in the other folder. Again, let's look at the dbo.dimaccount table. Here we can see insert into aw.dimaccount. This is our target table, which doesn't exist yet. And select star from ext_aw.dimaccount. This is external table in Azure Synapse, which we will be creating in the next module. As a result, now we have scripts for exporting data from APS and importing data into Azure Synapse using Polybase and copy into command. This concludes Module 3 demo. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.